Tjena, Bitcoin is down. Is it time to sell your last Bitcoin, short Ethereum, close your last yield farm, pack up and go home? Or is this a generational buying opportunity right at support? I'm CTO Larsson, and in this video I will answer why it is crashing and based on that what strategies you could take. So what is happening? I think it's pretty clear. It's just that the timing is surprising. We just had the El Salvador news, entire countries adopting Bitcoin as their official currency. We just had the more positive news around more renewable Bitcoin mining. Elon Musk saying Tesla will resume allowing Bitcoin transactions when there's confirmation of a reasonable above 50% clean energy usage by miners with a positive future trend. Michael Saylor raises money to buy another $500 million worth of Bitcoin just a week ago. Then why is Bitcoin crashing? I think there are exactly two reasons. First, the Bitcoin mining shutdown in China is real. I don't know if this particular video is from a mining shutdown event or if this is just someone doing a regular service at a completely different time. Same like this one, some miner is packing up here. But we have something else which are indisputable facts. Here we have the pool hash rate from different mining farms. And you can see here, Ant pool 3 days ago, 22,900. Today, 13,500. Via BTC, 13,900 3 days ago, 12,960 today. F2 pool, 14,800, 11,400. BTC.com, 14,500, 11,033. Binance pool, 14,300, 9,970. The only one that really stands out here is Foundry USA, 6,642 and 6,714 today. So it has actually increased. But as you can see here, there's been a massive drop in hash rate from the Chinese-based mining pools during the past 3 days. There is no doubt about it. Okay, but what does that have to do with anything? The hash rate doesn't directly impact the price, right? I think it's like this. It's been very clear that the Chinese government mandated the mining pools shut down. And in a way, I think it's good because many of these were not using renewable energy. Now it will be forced to move to countries where renewable energy is a must. If they force these mining pools to shut down their operation, probably they're also required to sell their Bitcoin. Say that you are a huge Bitcoin miner in China. You're passionate about Bitcoin. You don't like this shutdown request. Then what could you do? Well, maybe you could move to another country, but how do you get your money out then? You can't just take all your tens of thousands of Bitcoin and walk into exchange in the US and deposit them and say, I don't know where they came from. But maybe you could do this. Maybe you yourself or your uncle could open a huge short on a US-based exchange. And then you take your Bitcoin that you have mined in China, tens of thousands of Bitcoin, and then you sell them. You sell them hard so that the price goes down. Then you're going to profit on that short. Move your money to a different jurisdiction and then maybe you could move there. Now let me show you something. This is BTC USD shorts on Bitfinex. That shows how many Bitcoin are in a short position on Bitfinex in the US. Here is year 2020, here is 2021, and then, here there were many Bitcoin in a short position. And when was that? Let's zoom in a little bit here. All right. Turns out that that's just the past couple of days. Let's now overlay the Bitcoin price and check this, what has happened here. Then as it turns out, this position was opened for 25,000 Bitcoin at roughly $40,000. So let's count 25,000 Bitcoin times $40,000. That's $1 billion. So someone opened a $1 billion short just a couple of days ago. Then, as price started going down very aggressively, they've closed this short, pocketing large sum of money with traceability on Bitfinex in the US. That is a lot of coincidence. We can see here that there hasn't been such a big short opened since 2019. I don't think it's a coincidence. The good news here is that there's not so much left on this short now. Whatever inside information was present when opening it, either they're not sure or they know that the selling from at least that source is ending. Because as you can see, there's not much left of the short now. From 25,000 Bitcoin, there's only 3,800 left. But what about Michael Saylor and his $500 million? I think that's what was responsible for this move up from maybe 8th of June until 15th of June over here, which created in a way, perfect setup for this short. So I think that's the first reason. If you want to see more of my content, you'll have to like, subscribe and bell, or YouTube won't show it to you. Thank you. There's been an organized selling here, and it seems too much of a coincidence for all these things to happen at the exact same day. The shutdown of the mining farms, the short, the $1 billion short literally, and the price moving so consistently and strongly down. And then, I think there's a second reason also. Let's look at the US dollar. They're just printing more of it, right? So it's lost all its strength. No, it seems it hasn't. If we zoom out on the dollar currency index, or the dollar strength index as it's often called, you will see something very interesting here. There is one support and resistance line here which goes all the way back to the 80s. Look here how many times it has been in play. Here, here, here. 2004, 2005, 2009, 2010. Here it broke through. 2018, and now again, and not only once but twice in 2021 January, and now one more time dollar currency index DXY bounced up on this incredibly strong support. Let's zoom in closer on the daily chart, and you can see how once again this incredibly strong support line appears to have held. And what does that mean then? Well, if the dollar is stronger, that means that price on other things that are priced in dollar typically get lower. So let's look at gold. If you can see here that as dollar currency index, dollar strength index regained strength, gold fell inversely. Also from a very significant level, 1920, that I talked about already over a year ago over here. And then, if we switch over to the Bitcoin chart, you can kind of see the same move here. As dollar regains strength, that puts pressure on the gold and the digital gold charts. And I think that's exactly what we have seen here. Maybe stocks will drop also. If people are forced, for whatever reason, to sell their assets, all the speculative assets tend to be correlated. So that will push down the price of Bitcoin also. And I think that is contributing to the weakness we are seeing here. So where are we then in the chart? Is this the end? What is happening here? I think from a charting perspective, this is pretty clear. I don't think the end is here yet, but we have to be awake and we have to watch what is happening the next hours or days, because it is scary here once again. You can see it here. You don't need to know technical analysis to see here that there's been a resistance here, there's been support here back in January, there was a breakout in February, and now we're back in the exact same range. But we haven't broken it yet. So despite all the worrying news, we haven't broken the rectangle yet. Having said that, when there is a rectangle pattern, more than 50%, it breaks in the direction of the previous dominant move. And which direction was that then? Well, it was down. By probability, more than 50%, this rectangle will break in this direction. But it hasn't yet. And the key cornerstone of trading is to, instead of trying to guess what will happen, it's often better to just play what actually happens, what actually plays out. If this one breaks down, we have a chance to get in on the downside. And who knows, maybe it breaks up again. Maybe we start forming a range above it instead. But it sure doesn't look good, that is for sure. But it is not a range breakdown yet. For those of you who follow the trading process and the Larsen line indicator, remember that we had a head and shoulders of sorts formation that broke down somewhere here around 48,000, depending on how you look at it. And then the indicator, the Larsen line, flipped blue here in this candle at roughly 40,000. So average of 48,000, and 40,000 means that you got an average exit of about 44,000. So in a way it has worked well. We're on significantly lower levels now. Is it the time to buy back in? I can't tell you what to do. First and foremost, I'm not a financial advisor, and frankly, no one knows what's going to happen in the future. But from a technical analysis perspective, what would be the right thing to do? Well, the right thing to do in a rectangle is really to play the breakout if you're looking to get on the next trend. That would be to trade the breakout, so if it breaks on the upside, you buy back in here on higher levels. If it breaks on the downside, you try to get in on the short position on the way down. The other way to trade the range is to trade the range, meaning that you buy at support, you sell at resistance, you buy at support, you sell at resistance, you buy at support. And as you could see here, that had worked a great number of times. In that case, this would be the position to buy. But I'm not really a range trader. I try to trade the big trends, and I want to see a bottom pattern hold. I want to see the trend turn back up before I really fully deploy my capital back in Bitcoin. So that's the hard truth from CTO Larsson today here in Stockholm, Sweden. I will update you the next few days on how this plays out, but you have to absolutely subscribe and press the bell, otherwise YouTube won't notify you. Thank you very much. CTO Larsson out. Hej då!